Back to the episode of my trading vlog. Today I want to talk about PLBY, and what I see is that price seems like it should be going up, but it's going down, which is weird. And today I think is a perfect example of this kind of like weird nonsense. At 9:24 Pacific time, we had a pretty big spike. 33,000 shares in volume were traded. This is a very low number. It really is. Over a long time frame, volume is very, very low, and we're at the very end of a corrective cycle, and the momentum indicators agree with this, which is why I'm not going to look at the momentum indicators so much. If you do look at the RSI and the MACD, it kind of seems like we're building into a larger bullish divergence. But after such a long correction, it's really hard to say whether or not price is just going to bounce around in the trading range it established off of its big run earlier this year, or if we're really getting ready to make another move higher. At any rate, returning to this volume spike, this was a big deal. It really was. And it coincides with the biggest trading on the options market today. We had 18 October 250 calls. And were they purchased? I'm going to say probably 85 of those went through. That would be 8,500 shares worth. And we saw 33,000 shares traded. Not exactly confident what that may or may not mean. It's hard to read into the sales data here a little. There's just not enough information, to be honest. All calls traded today, 0 puts. All the puts are deep in the money. There's no reason to be trading any of these options, honestly. Look at the bid-ask spread. They're awful everywhere you look. If you look at the volume and open interest, there's still some open interest on that 18th October 250 call. 1,200 contracts still being held. 186 today traded, which is quite a bit. And of course, 85 of those were in a single trade. That's pretty significant. Looking at the price at 0.07, it's hard to say whether or not that was a sell or a buy, but I'm leaning towards probably a buy. I don't know why you would sell calls that are that far out of the money. Honestly, this is a terrible market to be selling. 0.05, you get $5, a whopping $5 for every 100 shares. And that's a terrible. This is not an options chain that's really worth trading, to be honest. At any rate, it's looking like this 18th of October contract got traded quite a bit, specifically that contract, and mostly on the same market or exchange, I should say. Looking now at the weekly time frame over a long period of time, this is a very big chart. I have some of my Elliott wave analysis through here. You can see that we went through a massive slide down, and this was probably because the company had a very bad earnings report, and there was a loss of confidence in a lot of the shareholders, and the price fell from there. It found a bottom near 42 cents and then really surged for weeks. And since then, it's been moving about sideways for even longer. We've broken some big downtrends, which is cool, but we're waiting for the price to move higher. And so I've got some price targets out here, Fibonacci extensions shown in yellow. The first of which is the 50% retracement at 78 cents, which is basically exactly where we closed today. I expect this level to hold. If it doesn't hold, then yeah, I gotta bail out, especially at 74 cents. At this price, my position is break even for the year. It's not red yet. What this means is that I've watched my potential gains pretty much disappear through this cycle as I wait for the longer term uptrend to really manifest. We won't get a confirmed downtrend on this time frame. That is to say, this particular downtrend won't confirm until price passes below 74.39 or closes below 80 cents on the weekly time frame. Now, I have reason to believe it will close above there on the week, and I'm going to go into that right now. Looking at the money flow index, this is so weird. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about, what I really had in mind. The money flow index is going up. There is money flowing into the stock as price has been dropping, which seems kind of backwards, right? You can tell that it generally agrees with the price action, which happened all through here as price was running up and then trading around that 120 area and then fell. You can see that, look, as the money flows out of the stock as it grinds sideways. And then right here, it starts to flow up. Price goes down. What? And if you look at the price action today, there are these big sell bars, right? But the volume is super light. We had a ton of shares trading earlier in the day at around support and resistance levels, and then just the tiniest amount of volume at the end of the day just broke it down. And the price was sitting here at the close, 78.786, and the bid-ask spread was right where it is now, which is 80 and 83. So the price was below the bid-ask spread. Sure enough, another trade appeared over here at around 82.59, and this was a buy, and then we probably had another sell. Suddenly we're back up here in the bid-ask spread. So why didn't the price close around up here? Why did it dump the last few minutes of the day on such light volume only to pop back up? This is curious. Money is flowing into the stock. Price is going down. If you look at money flow, this is a little different. This is kind of like on balance volume, so the two look strikingly similar. I don't know why you would use both. I would just use one. I'm going to choose money flow. And that's because short interest can skew on balance volume. If you get a daily close above the prior day, but there's a bunch of short selling at a high, then all that short selling volume goes into the on balance volume, and that can lead to a skewed interpretation of that. So I really want to look at the money flow through here. We have a low several weeks ago, early March, that was, you can see the negative value here, 1.8. This is that negative because price used to be $60. So there's been a lot of money flowing out. What I'm looking for here are trends. And you can see that we are actually not in a downtrend through here at all. Rather, right now, the price is lower than it was the first trading or second trading week of March. And the money flow is higher than it was before. How can it be that money is flowing into here as price drops? And this makes me think that this could be market makers. It really could be market makers. I am left to just guess. I wish I had some proof of that. Honestly, though, if I am right and we're going to see this stock move higher in the future, then shares will need to be purchased in order to supply the market with options contracts. This is honestly just what I'm expecting. I have no idea. We're going to need to see that 78-cent level hold. Next few days are going to be very telling about that, and we'll see whether or not we get a bounce. If we don't, I've got to just stop out, right? I got to be responsible with it. I got to say, hey, I need my money. I don't need it. I mean, I do. It's hard, right? I am overinvested, so that's something to remember too. Nonetheless, having a good time here, trading Playboy, just, hanging out, chilling, getting a lot done with my saxophones, just finished up repadding a C melody, which is cool. Anyway, that's all I got. Happy trading.